You have never seen Rome like this. Rome has been transformed. Whether you visited in 2024 or have seen news about it, Rome spent much of last year and even further back undergoing massive restoration projects. From cleaning and restoring many of our iconic fountains to recreating urban spaces. Well, now most of these projects have been completed, and in the nearly 25 years that I've lived in Rome, I've never seen it looking so beautiful. On today's video, I'm going to share with you what those restoration projects have achieved, what sites have reopened, and what new sites have opened as well. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you what I think about coming to Rome in 2025 versus 2026. You may remember seeing many of Rome's iconic fountains and landmarks under scaffolding last year. Nearly all of it has come down, with the rest set to come down within the first few months of 2025. The Trevi Fountain, one of Rome's most iconic landmarks, has completed its restoration, and it is more stunning than I've ever seen it. Both the sculptures and the basin are sparkling clean, as if it had just been made yesterday. In Piazza Navona, all three fountains underwent a meticulous restoration, and now that the Christmas fair has come down, we can really see what a difference that restoration project has made. Another fountain that was vexing people because of the scaffolding was the fountain in front of the Pantheon in Piazza della Rotonda. I'm not sure why, but this fountain is probably my favorite of the fountains that have been restored. The backdrop of the Pantheon with this fountain, especially in the early hours of the morning or late at night, is just mesmerizing. A lot of people get up really early, like 5 a.m. to go to the Trevi Fountain and get their pictures, but I would suggest you visit Piazza Navona or the Pantheon. You will find almost no one there at that hour. And while they may be less famous, the elegant fountains in Piazza Farnese have also been restored. Now is the time to take a stroll across the Angel Bridge, where the angels that lead from Castel Sant'Angelo into Rome city center tell the Passion of Christ. The angels were covered in soot and they just underwent a meticulous cleaning, and now, as you can see, they are more beautiful than ever. Inside of St. Peter's Basilica, Bernini's baldacchino gleams in a way that I've never seen it. And now Michelangelo's Pietà is visible once again, since they replaced the bulletproof glass that shields it. Many other sites in Rome have been closed for a long time, undergoing years-long restorations. And just in time for the Jubilee, most of these sites have reopened. The Passetto di Borgo has been closed for years, since long before the pandemic, with no signs of reopening. The Passetto is a secret passageway that popes used to flee the Vatican and hide out in Castel Sant'Angelo when the Vatican was under siege. In December 2024, the Passetto reopened, and now you can visit it. I just did a video about it, so you can check that out for more details. On the Palatine Hill, the House of Livia was one of the sites that closed during the pandemic and had not yet reopened. But great news, it did reopen last year, and now you can visit it alongside of the House of Augustus, her husband, the first emperor of Rome. One of my favorite sites that finally reopened after a years-long restoration is the Basilica of Santa Maria del Popolo. Many visitors flock here to see the Caravaggio masterpieces in the Cerasi Chapel. But I would urge you to look around this church because there are other masterpieces in here as well. Similarly, we had gotten used to seeing scaffolding covering Michelangelo's facade of Palazzo Farnese for years. The scaffolding has come down from Palazzo Farnese too, and together with the newly restored fountains, this piazza is now more beautiful than ever before. In preparation for the Jubilee, Rome transformed its urban landscape, making it more accessible and pedestrian-friendly. Right here where I'm sitting is the perfect example. If you look up Piazza Pia online, you can barely find it because it didn't really exist until now. Where I am sitting right now used to be a thoroughfare. The traffic led from Castel Sant'Angelo over by the Vatican and onto the Lungotevere to cross over to the other side. And we had just gotten used to that. But it did mean that people trying to cross between St. Peter's Basilica and Castel Sant'Angelo had to wait for these long lights. With an expected influx of 35 million pilgrims in 2025, they wanted to be sure that it would be easy to walk around this area. And in a gargantuan project that reminded me a lot of the Big Dig when I lived in Boston, they moved the highway underground, created this piazza, and now it's completely pedestrian. In fact, it's pedestrian almost all the way to St. Peter's Basilica, with one small stop for cars to pass on a road that they didn't quite put underground. But that's okay, because the main road that used to pass through here was the one that was causing such a bottleneck for pedestrians. Near the Vatican museums, there are other sites that have also been transformed in an effort to make the whole area easier to navigate for pedestrians. Via Ottaviano, which is the street that leads from the Ottaviano metro stop all the way to Piazza Risorgimento and over to St. Peter's Basilica, is now almost entirely pedestrian, and it is fantastic. You guys, I am in disbelief. Via Ottaviano is completely pedestrian. It's amazing. It's clean, it's safe, it's wide, it's easy to walk here. It's absolutely beautiful, and I think this has been a huge improvement for the city, not just for the Jubilee, but beyond. At Termini Station, they've redone the bus depot at Piazza Cinquecento. It's wider, easier to use, and of course more pedestrian friendly. The stretch that goes from Termini Station to Piazza della Repubblica is also turning into a pedestrian friendly zone. The area between the Baths of Diocletian and the St. Regis Grand Hotel used to be this giant parking lot, and it was just chaos. And now it is a beautiful pedestrian area. And at the most important church of all, St. John in Lateran, which is the Pope's church, they've completely redone the pedestrian areas in front of the church, turning it into a beautiful space. You may notice that some of the sites I'm talking about and that I filmed for you recently are not quite complete, but I am quite sure that they will be done by early 2025. In the description below, I'm linking to a city-run website that shows all of the sites and monuments that are under restoration with their expected completion date. As of right now, there are 3 new sites to visit in Rome in 2025, and I'm so excited about them. The new museum on Via del Corso, called Museo di Roma, offers a permanent collection as well as temporary exhibits. Inside the Roman Forum, there is a whole new super site you can visit called the Orea Piperataria. Orea is a warehouse, and this warehouse specifically contains spices. You can only visit this site on a guided tour, but I think it's really worth it. Another site that has just opened for the first time is the crypt underneath Sant'Agnese in Agone in Piazza Navona. If you love ancient Rome, if you love holy sites, if you love exploring those quote-unquote hidden gems, this is definitely one of them. There are a couple of sites that are due to open later in 2025, and I am so excited. For years, we've lived with scaffolding all along the Via dei Fori Imperiali, which leads to the Colosseum from Piazza Venezia. Close to the Colosseum, they've started taking down the scaffolding from one side. We can finally see these marble maps again that tell of the expansion of the Roman Empire. As you walk down the Via dei Fori Imperiali towards the Colosseum, you can see a lot of progress towards the new Metro C stop that's going to be opening here soon. As they complete the works and take down scaffolding, they're laying down grass, so the area in front of the Colosseum is going to look like it once did when I first moved here, surrounded by grass. That Metro C stop at the Colosseum is going to be a game changer. I will have more about it when it does open. And while it is not a city site, one of my favorite places that has been closed for years for restoration is the Grand Hotel La Minerva, which is one of our favorite rooftops in Rome. This iconic and historic hotel is set to reopen in spring of 2025. There are a couple of glaring exceptions to these sites that have reopened for 2025. One site that will not reopen this year is the Mausoleum of Augustus. This is another huge renewal project, and it is set to open sometime in 2026. I did a short video for you when it had sort of opened temporarily, but they've closed it again because they're really creating a huge new space, which I think is going to be amazing. Obviously, when it reopens, I'll let you know about it here on this channel. And finally, the big project in Piazza Venezia is not due to be completed for at least another 10 years. But you know, in Rome, we always have some sort of restoration project going on. So Please don't let that deter you. I've heard a lot of you say things like, well, I'm going to avoid Rome in 2025 because it's going to be so crowded from the Jubilee. I'm just going to come in 2026 when things calm down. I heard similar comments in 2022 and 2023 when Rome was seeing this new surge in tourism after the pandemic. People were saying, I'm just going to come in 2024 or beyond. Honestly, Pandora is out of the box, you guys. I do not think that tourism in Rome is going to slow down anytime soon. And paradoxically, so many people are saying this, I'm coming in 2026 because I don't want to be here in 2025, that guess what? 26 is going to be crowded too. And I believe it will be crowded beyond 2026 as well. This is the Eternal City. We have the Vatican, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, the Colosseum, Piazza Navona, the Pantheon, unparalleled art. I mean, is it any wonder that people want to come here? Yes, I know they're expecting 35 million pilgrims on top of the regular numbers of tourists they're expecting this year. So it sounds like, yeah, Rome is going to be really crowded. But please remember that these pilgrims are coming over the course of an entire year. And Rome is a big city with lots of sights to see. I always say, carpe diem, seize the day. If you want to come to Rome in 2025, you will never see the city looking so beautiful. That's not to say it will not be beautiful in 2026. It certainly will, and more of these projects will be completed, but I've just never seen it looking like this, and I don't think it's going to look so new in 2026. So 2025 is a wonderful year to visit Rome. Come on over. And if you're worried about the crowds, you can check out my video about how to escape the crowds right here.